One of the most asked about topics is always, where is the real estate market going? And Pam Liebman, who's the president of the Corcoran Group, is famous for saying there are only three things people talk about in New York: sex, food, and real estate. And real estate is usually first on the list. In terms of where the market is going nationally, it is less dependent upon the economy, which will always cause prices to rise and fall, than it is upon where the demographics are going in the future, and have been for the past 5 or 10 years. People who have lots of money, the one percenters, still want the ultimate in luxury and will pay for it, absolutely any price. The recent developments in New York City, 432 Park and the Gary Barnett listing on 57th Street, have been getting $7,000 to $8,000 a square foot for their properties, which translates into something between $60 and $100 million for a property that people seldom live in. They're mainly populated or purchased by plutocrats from all over the world. In LLCs, no one is quite aware of who they are, but there seems to be an insatiable appetite for this type of luxury property. When you drop below the 1%, you then have first-time buyers. And first-time buyers tend to be young couples, both of whom are working, and who are very anxious today to make first-time purchases, as are single people. In the olden days of 10 or 20 years ago, people didn't really think of purchasing property until they were married and sort of settled, and then maybe they bought something in the city and moved to the suburbs after a few years. This has changed radically as women have moved into positions where they're earning a lot of money and have a substantial job. And if they want to have, they're marrying later, if they want to have children, they actually want to see them. And so urban living has been written large. And even if they purchase something smaller in an urban area, they really want to be close to their jobs and close to the activities that they've been used to doing. Consequently, the developments in cities and very close to cities, whether they be Manhattan or Brooklyn or recently in Yonkers and the Bronx, areas like this are very, very, very popular. Former industrial buildings are also very, very popular because they're spacious, they can be converted into very interesting space, and people really like the industrial look. They like being with other people of their own age group, with children, and they like the area around these buildings. They like giving their children a cultural introduction to the city that they live in, and they like being near rivers and water. However, since Hurricane Sandy, nobody wants to be in what is called the A zone, the area where people are most likely to be flooded. The B zone and the C zone are much more popular, also with insurance companies, since many of the infrastructure of these buildings were destroyed by flooding during the Hurricane Sandy. So what I would say, in short, is that House and Gardens has been replaced by Dwell magazine. Young people want efficient living. They're willing to save on their interior purchases in order to buy good value and have a product that they can step up from to a larger property once they're ready and financially able to do it. But people are hungry to own real estate. And fortunately for the market, they're going to buy in any market. So I would say, generally speaking, across the country, the real estate market is extremely healthy, but in New York City, it's once again going off the charts.